Hi, for Project 3 on Pareto's Principle, we are Team 4. Mike Teachea, Glenn Wu, Trina Olivas, and Steve Jansen. Pareto's Principle was observed by Italian economist Wilfred Pareto in 1906. He observed that 20% of Italian people owned 80% of their country's wealth. In the 1940s, Dr. Joseph Jurin, a quality management pioneer, attributed the 80-20 rule to Pareto, calling it Pareto's Principle. The Pareto Principle says that 20% of input accounts for 80% of outputs. Pareto's Principle can be a very effective tool to help manage effectively. In this presentation, we will take you through how Pareto's Principle can be applied to the decision-making process, time management, and performance management.
Pareto's Principle, also known as the 80-20 rule, can be very helpful when applied to the decision-making process. It allows a business owner to make smarter, more informed decisions. It can be applicable to many aspects of business and can be helpful in identifying current successes and failures in the business plan. For our examples in this presentation, we'll be using the old adage from the insurance business that states 80% of your customer service issues will come from 20% of your clients. By identifying the higher and lower maintenance client groups, we're able to identify and target similar traits within these groups. We would then be able to cater our future marketing strategies to address the specific demographic. Once this group is identified, we would then be able to also identify sales strategies that were particularly effective for this group. Agents and staff in the future would be trained on the specifically effective strategies. By identifying how and why your clients are wasting your employees' time, you would be able to effectively train your employees to deal with these issues. This would hopefully eliminate the time wasted dealing with these higher maintenance clients.
Pareto's principle applies toward time management in that 20% of one's time spent working on vital tasks results in 80% of the results, and that 80% of the time one spends on trivial tasks produces 20% of the results. Therefore, to effectively manage one's available time, a few things need to be analyzed. First, prioritizing of daily tasks. What is important and what is superfluous? Second, when are you most active and productive during the day? Are you a morning person or a vampire? This way, one can work on the vital 20%, which will yield 80% of the results during their peak productive time. Third, availability of time to focus on each daily task. There is only 24 hours in a day. If you have 10 tasks and allow each to run over by 12 minutes, you will lose 2 hours. However, just because 20% of our time produces 80% of the results doesn't mean that the rest is unimportant. For example, it may only take 20% of one's time to write the rough draft of a paper, but if they don't take the 80% of the time to refine and polish the paper, then that individual will not get a passing grade.
The Pareto's Principle can also be used in performance management in a business context. First, what is performance management? According to Wikipedia, it is a set of management and analytical processes that enable the management of an organization's performance to achieve one or more pre-selected goals. This involves a long list of things to do. Applying the Pareto's Principle can help narrow down the important things that need to be performed to reach those goals. Don't just work smart on the right things. For example, focus 80% of your time and energy on 20% of your work that is really important. You can also utilize your staff to help perform the work that is important. For example, 20% of your staff will provide 80% of the outcomes necessary to reach the pre-selected goals. In addition, time and effort must be managed efficiently to perform those goals. For example, 20% of your work consumes 80% of your time and resources. Overall, using the Pareto's Principle will help the business focus on the important tasks, the right amount of time, and proper resources needed to manage performance within the workplace.
By understanding how and why Pareto's Principle affects their business, a business owner is able to make smarter, more informed decisions. This will hopefully reduce the amount of waste and lost opportunity in the business, making the business much more effective and increasing the overall revenues.